Right friends, welcome back to mini capsule. Today we have very important article in the Hindu with regard to generic medicines. So the name of the mini capsule is Generics and Insight. Let us go ahead. Generics versus branded. Generics versus branded, if you see, generic drug is identical or bioequivalent. And one important aspect is the author has given here two words. One is bioavailability, second one is bioequivalence. We come to it a little while from now, but as per the definition, generic drug is identical or bioequivalent to a brand name drug in dosage, strength, quality, performance and intended use. In most of the cases, generic products are available once the patent protection afforded to the original developer have expired, right? So this is generic, which costs less, and this is branded, which costs more, but the end result, or you can say the performance, is one and the same. Then if you look at the genesis of the issue, on April 17, the Prime Minister stated that government intended to ensure that doctors prescribe medicines by generic names only. And on April 21, the Medical Council of India clarified that as per clause 1.5 of ethics regulation regarding the professional conduct of doctors, every physician should prescribe drugs with generic names legibly. Legibly means clearly they must be understandable and preferably in capital letters. Three important points: prescribe drugs with generic names, legible, then at the same time preferably in capital letters. The doctor shall ensure that there is a rational prescription of drugs. The prescription of drugs should not be excessive, they must be rational. Then if any doctor found violating this clause 1.5 of ethics regulation, suitable disciplinary action would be taken by the concerned state medical council or Medical Council of India. This is as per ethics regulation required to be followed by the doctors. Now drugs, there are three types of names as per the article. The first one is the name as per this International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. The names as per International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. The second one is International Non-Proprietary Name, which is known as INN, administered by the World Health Organization, and these are also called generic. So generic name means the name literally administered by the World Health Organization, which is known as International Non-Proprietary Name or INN. And the third is brand name. If a company like Abbott, Dr. Reddy's, GSK manufactures that product, then the brand name comes from the company, right? And if you go further about international non-proprietary name, this identify pharmaceutical substances or active pharmaceutical ingredients. So INN clearly indicates pharmaceutical substances or active pharmaceutical ingredients. Next one is each INN is a unique name that is globally recognized and is public property. Each name is unique. A non-proprietary name is also known as a generic name, right? You should have clear idea about these three aspects. So internationally recognized is INN or International Non-Proprietary Name, or loosely called generic name. So the generic drugs are supposed to be manufactured with international non-proprietary names, and doctors are supposed to write international non-proprietary names, right? Let us look at more on the generic episode. Once patents have expired, companies other than the original manufacturer can produce and sell the drug as per this article, and this usually results in significant reduction in costs. And these off-patented drugs, that means drugs for which the patented period expired, are known as off-patented drugs, and these are called generics internationally. But in our country, the term generic has got a different meaning in Indian pharma trade. Right, but actually, as per the international practice, medicines marketed exclusively with INN names are called generics or generic medicines. World Health Organization advocates generic prescription as part of overall strategy to ensure rational medical treatment and prescribing tailored to local conditions. Right. So, this is about more on the generic episode. Now, what are the barriers in our country for prescribing generic medicines by the doctors? What are the barriers? You see, there are large number of fixed dose combinations, and most of the fixed dose combinations have got no therapeutic justification. If you want examples of fixed dose combination drugs, please look into this picture. Corex and Vicks Action 500 Extra, these are examples of fixed dose combination drugs, and most of the fixed dose combination drugs have got no justification. These FDCs account for 45% of the market. India's pharmaceutical market is rupees 1 lakh crore, and out of which 45% is held by FDCs, and most of them have got no therapeutic rationale, right? Then generic medicines account for not more than 10%. This is the biggest problem. Generic medicines are not more than 10%. And another important aspect is, even if a doctor prescribes a drug by generic name, the patient will generally end up buying some branded product because of low penetration of generic drugs. And one more important aspect of Indian pharmaceutical industry is different companies offer different trade margins. Normally, the pharmacists will dispense the brand which offers the highest margin. Right? So, because of all these things, it is not that easy for generic medicine penetration, right? And if you go ahead, there is one notion that generics have substandard quality. But here the author says the recent quality survey of the government on branded products gave interesting information with regard to branded products. 26 out of 32 samples from a particular plant of a prominent multinational drug company is not of standard quality. So, quality means the most effective way of maintaining quality is to have periodic testing, and at the same time stringent disincentives for poor quality is also the need of the hour. So, the best insurance for good quality is best regulation, whether it is branded or generic. So, the quality, because of poor regulation, may affect both the generic as well as branded alike. Everything depends upon good regulation. So, the notion that the generics have substandard quality is not substantiated with authentic information. And another important aspect is the author has thrown some light on bioavailability and bioequivalence. Bioavailability is the rate and extent to which the active ingredient of a drug present becomes available at the site of action of the drug. So, bioavailability is rate and extent to which the active ingredient of a drug present becomes available at the time of action of the drug. Bioequivalence is, this is the property where two drugs with identical active ingredients or two different dosage forms of the same drug possess similar bioavailability. So, the author says bioavailability is important. And when you look at bioequivalence, here bioavailability is important and bioavailability of a generic drug is similar to that of the reference drug. But if you look at bioequivalence of the approximately 800 useful drugs known to modern medicine, bioequivalence is really only important for a few drugs with low solubility and high or low permeability. So, the author says the debate about bioavailability and bioequivalence is misinformed. Most important aspect is bioavailability when you compare generic drug with the reference drug, right? Then the next one is what needs to be done. There are several problems in the pharmaceutical sector. Each and every company will have different margins. Second one is FDCs without any rationale, they occupied 45% of the market. Third important aspect is generics are not available in most of the pharmaceutical shops. And fourth important point is only the generic market is still less than 10%. So, under these circumstances, it is not that easy unless the government takes some stringent steps. What are those stringent steps? Altogether, entire pharmaceutical industry, entire medical fraternity is to be overhauled. The first one is enlarged list of essential and life-saving medicines to be brought under price control. That is first part. Then all the irrational FDCs must be eliminated because they are at present occupying 45% of the market. No brands for drugs off patent. So, once the drug is out of patent period, then all the drugs must have the names prescribed as per INN, right? Next, briefer officially approved names to make it easier for doctors to prescribe generics, including the rational FDCs. So, the need of the hour is briefer officially approved names to make it easier for doctors for prescription. So, the core issues are affordable access to medicines and their rational prescription and use. So, it is not that easy to overhaul the Indian pharmaceutical industry, and some hard decisions are required. Otherwise, this status quo will continue. Right friends, this concludes this mini capsule. Have a nice day. Thank you.